Good evening, HMR viewers. I am Dracula. I bid you welcome. Today we are talking about a very interesting and very special to my heart film, Renfield. I feel like I got a mix of both Nicolas Cage and Bela Lugosi's Dracula in that impression there. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Home Media Reviews in the middle of the week. Weird, coming at you on a Wednesday. That's just what happens when your schedule gets completely blown up because of some technical problems on your editor's side of things. Before we jump into the HMR on Renfield, I just want to say, can we give Dozer a round of applause for how much trouble she went through to get that 117th episode of HMR out and how great that turned out to be? Everyone, round of applause. And a round of applause for you guys for being patient with both of us throughout that entire ordeal. But for right now, let's go ahead and jump right into the history section of Renfield. So Renfield hit theaters on April 14th, 2023. Before we move forward here, I have to ask, Universal, what in the hell were you thinking putting this movie out in April? This is clearly a Halloween-inspired film. This is like Disney releasing The Haunted Mansion in June. Definitely didn't help the film's box office either. On a budget of $65 million, Renfield was a bomb. It grossed $26.9 million. 27 if you round up. I can't comprehend the stupidity behind this decision. Why would you put this out in April? I first saw it back in theaters with my wife, and we both really enjoyed it. I liked it more than she did. She's not really a fan of the whole, kind of just stupid comedy genre type of things that I'm more interested in, and this definitely qualifies as a, quote, stupid comedy. I have cooled on it in recent years, but we'll talk about that later on. Renfield then hit Blu-ray and DVD on June 6th, 2023. Not really much to say about this release. It shares the same poster art. It's got Nicolas Cage with his hands on Renfield's neck there, and that's pretty much it. You'll notice there's no 4K here, though, because Universal does that really stupid thing where they put out films that didn't do so hot in theaters on Blu-ray and DVD, and then they judge whether or not they'll put out a 4K later on. Unlike last week with Cocaine Bear, that doesn't happen with Renfield. Not with Universal, at least. Because as you see, my dear viewer, there is a 4K of Renfield floating around out there. Not released by Universal, though. It was licensed out to Shout Factory. Universal had such little confidence in this movie, they had to give it to a boutique label to put out on 4K. To be fair, they did do the same thing with The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which has a very different tone than Renfield. It's not the same movie, but it does feature Dracula. It's the boat ride from Transylvania to England, and Dracula kills a lot of people, apparently. I haven't seen it, but I've heard it's not great. Dracula and Renfield are pushed more towards the bottom of the image, and there's no bats flying around behind him. Cool that this did get a 4K. It hit the Shout Factory website on April 1st, 2025. And actually, as I'm staring at the Blu-ray.com listing here, it's got the Amazon prices off to the right. You can pick this up on Amazon right now for $21.99. That's actually a really good price for that. I don't know if I'll make the upgrade. I don't think I need Renfield in 4K, but if you don't already own the movie, you could do that. That's not all, though, dear viewers, because in 2 weeks, on November 11th, 2025, there's a Renfield Steelbook coming out from Shout Factory. Ooh, we're getting in the future here. And the Steelbook artwork looks really nice. You got Dracula there on the front cover with a bunch of bugs surrounding the Renfield logo. It's got the classic Renfield logo that makes you think 1931 Dracula. I like the design of this Steelbook, and you can pre-order it on Amazon right now for $32.96. As far as the history section goes, that does it for Renfield. Let's go ahead and move right along to the close-up.
Alrighty everyone, here is your close-up look at Renfield on the Blu-ray, hosted by me, Nicolas Cage as Dracula.
I'm not going to do that voice for the entire close-up, but it would be funny if I did. Blu-ray disc logo up here at the top, Blu-ray plus DVD and digital code. Underneath that we have the Dracula Sucks edition. I ranted about this last week with Cocaine Bear, but this is kind of funny though. I like how it puts the sucks there, like Renfield just wrote it in there. That's funny, even though this is just the standard Blu-ray. There's your main cast, Renfield logo. There's Nicolas Cage as Dracula there, and then there's Nicholas Hoult. Poster is pretty good. Makes sense that you'd have Nicolas Cage be the main focus here. He is arguably a bigger star than Nicholas Hoult was at this point. Now that Nicholas Hoult is Lex Luthor, I would argue he's kind of a bigger star than Nicolas Cage now, but semantics. Our third Universal film that we've covered in a row this time around. There's Renfield. There's the Renfield film logo. And there's the Universal logo as well as your product number. The back features a blurb about the film, your barcode.
Behind every great monster is an overworked sidekick.
There's some screenshots from the film featuring your three main cast members. Bonus features are listed down there at the bottom. There's a breakdown of how your digital code works, and then legalese, cast and crew information, and technical specifications. We open her up, and Universal, okay, technically it's different poster art for the discs, but come on. The DVD is green for some odd reason. It's like a tealish green color. This one would make sense to have red because Dracula, blood. And then the Blu-ray disc is reflective gray, but it does have its lettering in that tealish green color. So technically, I guess you could say it's different colors, a different artwork, I suppose. I just, Universal, guys, you gotta stop being lazy with this. Let's get some squished up versions of the poster art on these discs. So that wraps things up for your close-up. Let's move right along to the menu tour. Alright, folks, here's your menu tour for Renfield. Starting off with the DVD. As I said, I'm rapidly losing daylight as I'm filming these close-ups. I'm going as fast as I can, people. Oh, hang on a minute. Now I understand why the DVD and Blu-ray are teal colored. Look at the film's logo. And the bonus tab. Now I understand. But anyway, the DVD, just like the last 2 weeks, is noticeably crustier looking than the Blu-ray release. And it looks exactly the same as the Blu-ray menu, which we'll take a look at here in just a few minutes. For chapters, we have... You can't make this up. We've got 19 chapters, 20 if you don't count the credits. It's the same as the last 2 weeks, folks. For setup, don't tell me a 5.1 English mix. I'm right! 5.1 English mix, 5.1 Spanish mix, 5.1 French mix, descriptive video service, feature commentary with producers Samantha Neisenbaum, screenwriter Ryan Ridley and crew. So no commentary with the director, just some producers and just a producer, some screenwriters, and some crew members. Hey, subtitles are actually different this time, though. We have English, Spanish, French, Chinese or Japanese. I feel like that's Korean. Might be Korean. People in the comments have yet to correct me on these. And for bonus features, we have deleted and extended scenes, alternate takes, Dracula Uncaged, Monsters and Men behind the scenes of Renfield, stages of rejuvenation, Flesh and Blood, Fighting Dirty, the making of a deleted scene, Renfield's dance. Apparently Renfield had a dance number. That's fun. And then there's your feature commentary again. And now, as if by magic, the Blu-ray. Color me shocked. Seems like the chapters are the same as the DVD. Let's scroll down and find out. They are. Come on, setup. Give me something different. Come on. Yes! 7.1! Let's go! I've never been more excited for different audio options than I am right at this moment. Spanish, again, 7.1 as well. French people, go to hell, only 5.1. Descriptive video service is back. Feature commentary is back. Subtitles, uh-oh. Chinese people, Japanese people, and or Korean people. Sorry, you guys, you can't watch Renfield on Blu-ray. Bonus features, deleted and extended scenes, alternate takes, Dracula uncaged. Monsters and Men, stages of rejuvenation. Flesh and Blood, Fighting Dirty. The making of a deleted scene, Renfield's dance, and the feature commentary. You know what? I'm on Cloud 9 right now. 7.1 audio mix for the Blu-ray. Hey, did anyone see a gag reel on here? How is there no gag reel for this movie? But that wraps things up here for the menu tour. Let's go ahead and head on back and answer the 5 main questions, as always. Well, alright, so we're back from the close-up. Now it's time to answer the 5 main questions, as always. Number 1, where can you pick this product up? This one I have a solid answer for. Amazon. It's there right now. You pick up either the regular 4K or the 4K Steelbook. Number 2, is this product still being printed nowadays? Dude, I cannot believe that I get to answer yes for this question. How long has it been since the last time I answered yes for this? Someone in the comments tell me. Gumrobber, Dozer, tell me how long it's been since I answered yes for this question, because you guys know my content better than I do. Number 3, should you pick this product up? So the movie opens up with Renfield, played by Nicholas Hoult, explaining to the audience his relationship with Dracula, played by Nicolas frickin' Cage. And they use footage from the 1931 Dracula film, and it's wonderfully recreated using the modern actors. The green screen is hardly noticeable here. On a side note, I rewatched that Dracula movie from 1931 a couple of weeks ago, just for funsies. It's spooky season. I thought, why not? I watched it about a year ago and thought I'd give it another try. It's not great, though. I mean, Bela Lugosi is the best thing about it, and he's absolutely iconic as the character, but the movie around him is just not great. There is one actor that I can say is great in his role, and that's Nicholas Hoult as Renfield. He's wonderfully charming, and you instantly feel for his position in life. Throughout the movie, we get to see how Dracula manipulates Renfield into this absolutely toxic relationship. And I love how their relationship is constantly compared to like a romantic one. You can see the not so subtle comparisons throughout the film. I love that kind of thing. As I said earlier, Bela Lugosi is the best on-screen Dracula, bar none, followed closely by Christopher Lee, Count Dooku himself. But I rank Nicolas Cage pretty high up on that list. He's not fully committing to that Lugosi accent, but there's hints of it in there. He really does his own thing with his take on Dracula, and it's very humorous. Not only do we get some great comedy throughout the film, the action isn't half bad either. The fight between Renfield and Apache Joe was done really well, if not a little too short. That guy cuts out people's tongues with a hunting knife. You tell him his name is racist. Sonic the Hedgehog throws cocaine at Aquafina. Did you think this was going to be a serious movie? Ben Schwartz plays Teddy Lobo, the son of a notorious crime family. This was my biggest issue with the movie the first time I saw it. I didn't care at all about this crime family subplot. I still agree with that opinion. There's way too much time devoted to building up these mobsters, but they never feel threatening or important to the story. When there's just a scene with Lobo's mom that's literally just there to tell us how threatening and evil this mobster family is, I feel nothing and I want to move on. Renfield stops those very mobsters from killing Aquafina. Should be a not recommend after that one. She inspires him to continue using his powers to help people instead of collecting groups of nuns or busloads of cheerleaders. That was a genuinely good moment when Renfield realizes he's more than just Dracula's lackey. I don't ask for much, Renfield. We then cut to a montage of Renfield trying to live a normal life, and that was really good. It was nice to see all the people in Renfield's support group try and help out with getting him up to speed with the modern world, and I love how just out of touch his entire apartment is. Every wall's a different color, he's got motivational posters everywhere, like, you need to hire an interior decorator, dude. So the scene where Teddy finds Dracula's hideout, it was actually pretty creepy. Again, though, with the dumbed-down dialogue of, My whole organization is about evil. Of course, that perks Dracula's interest because he is just evil. After that, though, we get the second best scene in the film. Dracula has found Renfield's apartment, and he spends probably about 5 minutes trying to convince Renfield to come back to his toxic ways. I feel that that's the best character moment in the entire movie. May not be the best scene, but it's the best character moment in the entire film. This isn't the best scene. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes, but it is the best scene in terms of character development here. I love Cage's calming, almost reassuring voice to Renfield, and Nicholas Hoult. I don't think there's anything of his that I've seen that I didn't enjoy him in. We then cut quickly to the best scene in the movie, and that's the attack on the support group. This is Renfield's lowest moment. It's got everything that you'd want. Gore, emotional payoff, some absolutely wonderful line deliveries from Cage. Now, let's eat. Some call me the Dark One. Others, the Lord of Death. Woo-hoo. Another awesome action scene outside of Renfield's apartment. Gore galore, man. It is just wonderful. You guys know how much I love dark comedy, and this scene is full of that. Renfield literally rips a guy's arms off and starts beating people up with them. It's amazing. Climax starts with another amazing fight between Sonic the Hedgehog and Renfield. So much blood and so much crazy action. It is incredibly satisfying to get Ben Schwartz get the literal shit kicked out of him. And I love the moment when Renfield tears out Dracula's fangs, symbolizing that permanent break between the two of them. It's not an incredibly satisfying moment, though, when Renfield punches the shit out of Dracula, talking about how he's taking back his own power, mostly because the movie is surface level at best, but it works as the emotional climax of the film. Hilarious moment, though, when Awkwafina and Renfield have Dracula trapped in that protection circle, and they look over at all those weapons after he asks, "What are you going to do now?" Renfield is a very silly movie. It attempts to dive into toxic relationships under the guise of a boss and subordinate, but it doesn't get any deeper than that first layer. There's a lot of funny moments and some really good action sequences, but nothing super special that needs to be seen right away. There are a lot of good moments here. I like Hoult, I like Cage, I like those two together. I just wish that we delved deeper into the psychosis of someone who has been manipulated for centuries at this point. Not a super enthusiastic recommend, kind of on the milder side, but it's a recommend nonetheless. Number 4, where should you pick this product up? Same answers as number 1. And number 5, what price should you pay? Well, the DVD and the Blu-ray aren't worth very much now, mainly because the 4K is now on the market. I'd say don't pay anything more than $10 for either of those. And the 4K, I'd say, is worth it at $20, where a lot of 4Ks, especially through Shout Factory and Criterion, are going to cost you $40. I think $21.99 is perfectly reasonable. Even $32.96 isn't too bad for that steelbook. In an era where Disney has been putting out $40 to $50 steelbooks and making them online exclusives and have really low print runs, the fact that Shout Factory is selling a steelbook for $30, that gives me hope for humanity. Well, guys, that wraps things up here for the home media review for Renfield. A little shorter than past HMRs here, especially in this season. Renfield is one of those movies where I can watch it, I can enjoy it, but it immediately slides off my back after I'm done with it. There's not much here that sticks with you, but in the moment, it's a fun time. I'm not mad that it bombed at the box office, because I know that we'll never get a sequel to it now, and I know that they'll never be able to screw this up. But I am kind of sad that more people didn't see it in theaters. It apparently sold decently well on home video. Otherwise, why would Universal let Shout Factory have the license for it to put out on 4K? It's now time for things to start winding down here with home media reviews, as next week is the finale of Season 7. We've been on a really crazy journey throughout these last 12 to 13 weeks, and I just want to say thank you, thank you, first of all, for all of your positive comments and all of your positive responses. I know that there were quite a few movies in here that people wanted me to cover that I didn't end up covering for one reason or another. Comedy is subjective, and I didn't want to fill up this season with just recognizable hits. I wanted a couple weird ones in there. For next week's movie, though, I don't think anyone knows what's coming up for that. I hardly know what this is. I know it's a comedy. I know it's based on kind of a true scenario that happened a couple of years ago. I've owned it for a couple of years now, but never had the time to sit down and watch it, up until now. Next week, the season finale of HMR Season 7 will be covering Dumb Money, the GameStop story. Thank you all so very much for watching. I will see you all then. Good night, everybody.